Nithyanandam, and welcome back to my channel, to my YouTube channel. So, for those of you who have not watched videos before that I've created, my name is Nithya Atmadayananda and I live in UK. Today I wanted to share, actually this popped up as an inspiration for me to record, to make it into a video, happening, a transformation that I have undergone, which I thought might help other people if I share. So actually, I got an extra boost to share again on this on YouTube and create a video because Margaret, a really dear friend of mine who lives in London, she mentioned to me as a surprise when I saw her at the weekend. We had gotten together for the World Environment Day, where we were manifesting rain in 108 places after initiation from Swamiji. That was to heal planet Earth. Margaret mentioned to me after we had gone through the session that she watches my YouTube channel. So I was very surprisingly, well, pleasantly taken aback. I was surprised and pleasantly taken aback. So I thought, you know what? I am gonna make that extra effort, make time, and make sure I record this video. So kind of extra boost thanks to Margaret. So here we go. This is what I wanted to share. Now, a transformation that I've had, which was from going from being completely having stage fright to taking sessions, completion sessions, pretty much 3 to 4 times a week. And actually not preparing for the session as I would have prepared in the past. So I'll share a little bit about that transformation, how that's happened for me, and how Swamiji has been the key factor in how things have changed for me. So, I mean, okay, let me start right at the beginning. Okay, so 2009 is when I got to know about Swamiji. At just one of those days where I had put out into the universe that I wanted to start my spiritual journey. And I got, when I got home, I saw a leaflet that was obviously on the doormat. And when I picked it up, I don't remember seeing or remembering having sort of like, when I recall now, I don't recall anything particular about that leaflet sticking out, except one thing, which was I have to attend this program that was on that leaflet. There was a strong pull. I didn't know why, but anyway, the journey started where I actually got to know more and more about Swamiji. I attended a Nitya Dhyan meditation evening that was happening. And that's it. I attended one meditation and hooked, and I'm still here. Okay, fast forward 2017, and I'm still here, very much more connected and involved. So I started straight after the meditation, I started doing small kind of contributions here and there, dropping leaflets. And in those early days, we didn't actually have a teacher here, a teacher that would conduct programs that Swamiji was sharing. So for instance, we had Life Bliss Level 1, which was about 7 chakras. This was a 2-day program, a weekend program that used to get conducted in 2009 when I first got to know about Swamiji. And we didn't have a teacher here, so we would normally wait for a teacher to come from the USA, and then we would have programs. So for me, it was like, we're not having enough programs with Swamiji. So I thought, when the opportunity to become a teacher happened in 2011, I thought, well, I'm going to put my name forward for it, not because I was very confident that I could teach, but I thought, well, I think I want to do something for the people living here and somehow do something. I didn't understand how or what, but do something, some kind of contribution so that more people would get to know about Swamiji in London, in UK. And to me, to my logic at that time, there wasn't a teacher and we needed a teacher. So I said, okay, I'm going to put my name forward for this. There were, I think, 7 or 8 people that were, I thought, more qualified than I was. In terms of, they were Inner Awakening graduates, and I had not attended Inner Awakening at that time. And Inner Awakening is now a 23-day program with Swamiji, an intense life transformation time with Swamiji, permanent transformation, I would say. So in any case, I put my name forward, really thinking I'm definitely not going to be selected for this because I am not qualified. Other people are more qualified. But after much discussion, it ended up that I was the only person that could go to LA, to Los Angeles for this teacher training, to become an Acharya of the Nithyananda order. And of course, then I said, okay, I got the phone call to say you were selected from the group that was here in UK. I said, fine, I'll go ahead. I just said yes, honestly. I only said yes. I don't know what happened beyond that, which is after that I got an email with the preparation for the teacher training. And the preparation was to read Guaranteed Solutions, which is written by Swamiji 6 times. That's, for those of you who don't know, Guaranteed Solutions, that's a 600 plus, just over 600 pages book written by Swamiji on the 7 chakras and the 7 thought currents that block those chakras. And also Living Enlightenment book, for those of you who don't know, again, it's a book written by Swamiji, and that's just over 700 pages, 720 odd pages. I read that cover to cover. That was once, but the Guaranteed Solutions was 6 times. And to watch the actual program, Life Bliss Level 1, which was conducted by Swamiji himself, that was recorded on DVDs. And I had to watch that, not just me, but anybody that was preparing for this teacher training had to watch those 6-hour DVDs 6 times and write 20 pages on each chakra. Okay, so I set out to do this to do this work, and I found myself that I did it. I actually did it. I organized myself in a beautiful way. It took me 5 weeks. There's only 5 weeks anyway between the decision to say yes to this teacher training and attending the actual teacher training. There's 5 weeks or so that I had. So I said yes and continued, finished all the work, presented all the 20 pages and whatever understanding I had of it into a booklet, and off I went to LA. And of course, LA Nithyananda Vedic Temple it took my breath away when I entered the actual temple space where the deities are. I was taken on a tour. I had a beautiful welcome. I was taken on a tour inside the temple, and I went to a space beyond words. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. I had tears rolling down my eyes and I didn't know why. It wasn't out of powerlessness, but I felt pure love in the temple. And I guess that was my first, somehow, almost physical experience of Swamiji. Before that, I had barely, I think I had only had a 30-second call with him for a Kalpataru program that I had been to. And I had heard Swamiji on YouTube, but not much more than that. So that was my first kind of touching moment that I had of Swamiji. Anyway, that is probably another video that I could make just on that. That's going to the actual training, back to the training and back to stage fear. The training, apart from all of this reading, etc., that was required, and preparation of an understanding of all the chakras, the 7 chakras and the 7 thought currents was required, I actually also had to present in front of everybody else, which by the time I got to the training, of course, I knew that would happen, but it's different to know that it was going to happen and then to be in the situation where it's happening. So several times during the actual training, from day one itself, I was afraid to ask questions because I thought, oh, that would be a stupid question to ask, don't ask. All of these thoughts that were going on in my head that, they're not good enough, and kind of suffocating things happening in my inner space. One part of me ready to want to break free, and the other part of me saying, no, this is not the right thing to do. Is it right, wrong, and all kind of stuff that goes on inside. So the first day itself, it took me a whole day to even ask a question. Okay, whole day. But I was like, I have to ask this question before this day ends. Because if I don't ask this question, I'm never probably going to ask the question and shrink even more. So I decided to face my fear of looking stupid and feeling stupid and asking stupid questions and being judged for it in front of people that I thought were more qualified than me. So this is a thought current I was carrying, that other people are more qualified. So whatever I say will, obviously not be good enough. In any case, I asked the question, and there was sighs and gasps and all sorts of sounds as far as I recall. Okay, probably not how it happened, but it was like I thought I'd asked the most stupid question of the day. But I was glad. I was glad that I asked, and I was relieved that I asked. It wasn't so much about the answer I was going to get, but this relief that I actually did it. So the first thing on the first day, before the day ended, I had managed to ask and face the fear of asking a question that I was afraid to ask. So facing that fear. And of course, I'd learned that in Guaranteed Solutions itself, from having read Guaranteed Solutions 6 times by Swamiji, that the only way to handle fear is to face it. So that was me having my first breakthrough during the training session. And so I kept that one thing: face your fear, face your fear, face your fear. So at any given point when they, I don't know if you guys have ever had to take a mic in your hand and share in front of everybody, but there's this horrible feeling in the pit of the stomach where it's like, oh my God, there's a tightness. Like even if you've been on a roller coaster, and just before the roller coaster is about to dip and take a sharp dip down, it's like that kind of feeling in the stomach. So every time there was an opportunity to present, there would be this like kind of feeling in my stomach. I knew I had to go up because it's part of the training. And also with the training, it wasn't guaranteed that at the end of the 10-12 days that I would be definitely, ordained as a teacher. There was no such guarantee. It was depending on how our presentations went, we would then be ordained or not. So in any case, I was like, okay, well, if I don't have a go, I'm never going to know. So, and I would never be the first person that would go up. I was like, I'm not going up first. But in any case, I listened to other people present and I thought, wow, these guys are amazing. And what am I going to say when I get on there, onto the front of the class and face everybody else? I did it. I did it anyway. The first chakra I think the first introduction went by. And then the first chakra, at that time we used to do the Anahata chakra first. I said, okay, I'm going to go do this. I've got to go and do it. I had to do it. So I went to the front and I started off with where the chakra is located. It's located in the heart region, what blocks it, attention need, and what makes it flower, unconditional love. I was able to share all of these things, and then my whole inner space went blank. I couldn't remember anything. Anything. I couldn't remember anything. I'm not able to look at my notes, because even though I have two eyes, my head was so clouded I couldn't read what was in front of me, even to get a quick, like a boost to remember what was going on. So I went completely blank, and words not coming out of my mouth, tears rolling down my eyes, complete, like, feeling like a failure, of course, but also despondent probably, and thinking, what do I do now? I'm not being able to move forward, no go back. It was a very stuck moment. Any case, the Acharya at that time and the class, Swamiji's energy, all of it, I could see was cheering me in the background, in a very subtle way, cheering me to be successful. They didn't want me to be stuck, so the Acharya at the time helped me. The teacher that was teaching us to teach helped me to move myself out of that space and then say whatever I could remember. Help me to unblock at that moment, just unfreeze and just share whatever I could remember. In the end, the class obviously clapped. They applauded. Everybody who goes up and presented, everybody got applauded, but I was relieved. I tell you what happened in my inner space. It was more a relief that I had gone up and done it. It wasn't much about whether I got it right or wrong. Also, somewhere in the background, it was, did I mess it up? Have I lost my chance now to be a teacher or what? But it was like, okay, it's done now. At least I've done it. It doesn't matter how it was. I've actually gone and done it. And then I did two other presentations where I started to relax more into just being able to share what was happening. And one thing was, I was able to catch the spirit of what guaranteed solutions was about. And for me, whatever Swamiji was sharing, whatever clicks, what worked for me experientially inside, where I thought, oh yeah, that makes sense. I started to share in that way rather than possibly verbatim, which I felt pressured. It's almost like all the memories from my school days of failing and that memorizing part not working for me. All of that was kind of flooding my inner space through the whole training, until towards the end of the training, where I had decided to take part in a skit. A skit is like an impromptu kind of fun drama thing put together by a group of us, and it was so much fun. It was probably the last 2 days, last 7th or 8th day that we had decided to start even arranging to put this skit together. I laughed so much in that skit that I even forgot what I was in LA for, the teacher training. The gist of the whole thing is, in the 10-12 days, I went from completely blocked and frozen by fear to actually opening up and just laughing and just being myself, not worrying about getting it right or wrong or perfect or whatever. And that particular program, Swamiji actually, the teacher training, the last 2 days were the Life Bliss level 1 that Swamiji was going to conduct himself. So this is the first time I was going to take part in a program where such a long period, length of time, that Swamiji himself was going to be there. So of course, very excited. The skit was happening, and by the end I had forgotten that all of this, why I was there, and started to have fun, relax, enjoy myself, and learn as much as I could, participate much as I could, not leave any moment sort of where I wasn't participating, and did my best, faced all the obstacles that were coming up for me. And on the last day, after Swamiji had conducted the program, the teacher training had finished and the names were going to get announced. So out of the 25 names that were there to be teachers, I happened to be one of them, one of the 8 that got ordained, and Swamiji called us in Swamiji was online, and we were in front of Swamiji, and so the 8 of us getting ordained. It was a very special moment, very, very special moment for me. Simply because it was a reward, not because I got it perfectly right, but because I participated and had a go, and decided to face my fear along the way. So of course, then the next stage was conducting the programs on my own, as in on stage, not with an acharya there that was there for support, or real life participants. That was a different set of fears to face. I did it again and again, taught many programs, took small sessions, larger sessions, 2-day programs, went back to training, trained some more, faced more fears, more intense fears, continued, and fast forward on to 2017. I realized just the other day that I take sessions, completion sessions, probably 3 to 4 times a week, and I never prepare. And before, whenever I took the 2-day programs on the 7 chakras or any other program, I would really need to take time out, go over the notes. I would have notes from the notes from the notes from the notes, and I'd have smaller notes to take with me. The level of work I put into it, I'd listen to Guaranteed Solution through the night, intensely, obsessively. Crazy stuff that I used to do, where I thought if I was not prepared, I would not actually be able to conduct a session. So I still have my notes probably about that thick, that kind of thick layer of notes just for a session. And now I take any completion session that comes up, which happens Tuesdays, Thursdays, and it happens on Sundays as well. And also Mondays and Fridays we had provisionally booked for Inner Awakening completion. All of these sessions are taken without any preparation, zero preparation, just from doing completion daily, from actually applying it into for my life, to resolve problems that are coming up in my life. Just by using that, I'm able to share with them. And of course, Swamiji is always, from the beginning to now, of course, he's always there. So his guidance and his blessings I've seen myself blossom from this completely closed, frozen being to a being who feels quite confident, just any subject, anytime. Let's talk about it, let's share. Of course, and when it comes to completion, there's no preparation at all in any session. It's an impromptu, on the spot session that takes place. So I mean, this is this big transformation for me that I wanted to share with you guys. And of course, if you want to know more about the completion sessions that we run, please do send me a note into the comments box, and I can send you the details. And all credit to Swamiji, to Inner Awakening. And there is an Inner Awakening happening June 17th, just in a few days time. So if you'd like to know more about that as well, please let me know. There's another one coming up in July. So there's amazing programs with Swamiji, with real transformation, real breakthroughs that are lasting. So a simple technique from Swamiji: face your fear. The only way to overcome fears is to face them. That simple thing I've applied, that's taken me through several of the teacher trainings, to stay and to face whatever is coming up. And of course, ultimately, the fear of getting it wrong and being on stage in front of people, that has left me. Okay, so that's it. That's the most that's what I wanted to share. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. Please do send me comments, and if you have any feedback for me, I'd love to hear from you too. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for your time. And Margaret, thank you for that edging on, so that I can finally actually record this video. I hoped you enjoyed it. The credits will have the Inner Awakening details where you can find more information. And still further, if you want any more, please leave comments in the comments box. Thank you very much. Nithyanandam.